Hello everybody. This is a different video. Actually, this is my second video, and the first video was a bit scripted, but this one is gonna be unscripted. I'm just gonna talk about my thoughts. I'm gonna use this as a bit of like a journaling exercise. But the topic of today is the difficulty of life and how hard life is in general. Um, so, if I can give you some context about my life, I'm a student right now, and I struggled with drug addiction throughout my studies. This is like my second to last semester, and it's the only sober semester, or it's the, let's say, the second semester where I'm completely sober. Sobriety is interesting. It kind of pushes you, like if you're dealing with addiction, I don't want to discourage you. I would recommend becoming sober, but man, it changes who you are. Like you will change a lot when you stop doing drugs. Doing drugs for me, although it didn't seem like it was just, I didn't do hard drugs. I used to smoke marijuana daily, which a lot of people don't. I mean, it's not that hard of a drug, right? I also used to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, and I stopped with all of that. Um, I started actually noticing why I do drugs. And the main reason for doing them was basically escaping from my current reality. Um, I picked up meditation, and meditation is also a good escape. And I think it's far more superior than taking drugs, but because you can actually feel. Because like this is also something else I kind of realized recently. And when I say recent, like a few months, the power of emotions. I don't want to sound like this guy who's like, oh, you have to be sensitive to your emotions, but like actually you should be sensitive to your emotions because they push you towards the the a better path than you are in. Like if you think about it evolutionary, why do we have emotions? Like they serve a function, and the function that they serve is, for example, if you have to kill a mouse, which I recently had to do, which was an interesting psychological experience. Uh, I usually don't kill stuff, so killing a mouse, even though it's like maybe not that not that severe if for some people, but for me it's like killing something is different from working at a butcher store, which I like. Taking something's life is kind of hefty, and I needed to have some aggression. I had to like hype myself up. Hype is not the word here, but like um, cultivate this emotional reaction inside of me in order to get the job done. And taking that example in life, emotions act as fuel. They push you forward. Um, so instead of picking up the joint or drinking another beer, um, just know what you're doing. Know why you're doing it, right? I used to do it because um, I couldn't take living in this world without. I couldn't fully take living in this world. And to some degree, I can't. And I still do meditation in order to escape sometimes. Um, but what meditation does is it really makes you aware of your inner experience, and you can really sense what emotions you're feeling, and that pushes you forward towards your goal. I know that I'm saying it again, but I really want to make this clear. about how much your emotions, and also you can change your emotions towards certain things. Like I used to be the guy at parties. I know I don't go to a lot of parties, but the last one I went to was like 3 weeks ago or something, and I did a lot of work. I used to be extremely anxious, and something that I noticed when I was anxious, when I used to smoke cigarettes, I would chain smoke cigarette after cigarette after cigarette after cigarette, right? And that's an indication of, I mean, if you take drugs, if you have negative emotions, it becomes easier to do it. Like it becomes harder to resist these kind of. It becomes harder to resist drugs. So last party I didn't even drink, and I went there just to see how I would react being in a room with a lot of people. I used to be the guy who like really compared himself to others, and to a certain degree I still do that, and it's been really challenging navigating my current circumstances with the constant pressure that I put on myself, pressure that I think is, I don't know what, like this is the thing. I know it fucks me up, but apparently I'm the one that's doing it to myself, and then that goes into this whole philosophical topic of who you really are, and I've been doing a lot of writing as well, and this is something you realize when you stop doing drugs. You start doing stuff that is pretty weird, or not weird, but it's weird for you. Like I would never sit in front of a camera and upload something like this to YouTube, right? But like weird things become weird things start happening to you, and those are the things that actually push you forward. So for example, I didn't know that I liked writing, and now one of the things that I enjoy most, although I haven't been doing it recently all that much, but writing is something I really enjoy, and learning about new stuff, learning philosophy, learning psychology, learning about branding, marketing. There's something very sexy about language. I mean, not language, but languages in general. But I didn't mean to say language. Maybe that was some Freudian slip. But what I wanted to say was, there's something really sexy about knowledge and having knowledge. But sometimes you say to yourself, okay, what's the use of all this knowledge, right? What's the use of this? And that's a point where I'm stuck at, you know? Something else that I realized is, in order to get ahead in a capitalist system, understanding is not that deeply. Understanding something is not valued because it takes too much time. So one of the things, like for example, I'm a university student, I'm in my third year, I'm gonna write my thesis next semester, and right now I'm doing a thematic seminar where I have to write like a half a thesis, like 5,000 words, which is not a lot, and if I really push myself, I could do it in a few weeks, but you know how university goes, it's like 12 weeks, there's a small spring break, and like there's levels to stuff. Like if you get a book, right, and right, like a lot of people are obsessed with like this like general trend on YouTube is like how to remember what you read, and then on this other side you have how to read really fast, and then you're like stuck like, hold on, where should I be here? And something that maybe I can help you here if you're experiencing this. The content of the book is important, but the way it changes you is permanent. Maybe you won't recall what you have read, for example. Maybe you have read some historical fact. You cannot say, oh, Alexander the Great was born in 356 BC. Maybe it was, I'm going to check that after the video when he was really born. But the point is not to remember stuff. The point is to realize how the book changes you, right? I like this quote. I don't remember by who it was, sadly, but I don't remember what I ate, and I don't remember what I read, but it made me into the man I am today. Something like that. Something like that. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, like focusing more on how knowledge changes you. And the interesting thing is, the world becomes a different place when you learn something. And that's why reading, and this is what pisses me off, right? Because like I get a paper and I really want to understand every single sentence deeply. And I don't know if you have any experience reading academic articles, but they are very hard to read sometimes, right? And like one sentence is filled with meaning, and all these concepts, pre-Lacanian, and then if you read it and you're saying, oh my god, what's this word? And then you put it in ChatGPT and you're like, ooh, okay, that's what it is. And then you explain and let ChatGPT explain, blah blah blah. And it's like this whole. It could take a whole day just to like. It took me 6 to 7 hours for 30 pages, right, of an article I was reading about artificial intelligence and affect, like emotions. And there's levels to understanding, right? And the thing is, the thing that happens is like you are in a system that values being efficient. Capitalism is about being efficient. And you can like maximize efficiency, which is like the optimal thing to do, right? It's the thing that you want to do if you want to succeed in capitalism, in this system that we're in. But the thing is, being efficient is not enjoyable at all, right? Okay, maybe the product is enjoyable. Oh, you have money, you could buy stuff. Cool, right? But knowing stuff deeply, understanding stuff deeply, is more reserved for, I don't know, it's not expected of you. Like, this is the whole thing. Like, am I just in the system to be efficient? It's a whole other topic, and I'm really struggling with that because now I'm a third year and I'm gonna write my thesis next semester. And I dealt with mental health issues, and that kind of made me really demotivated to do anything. And although I was learning a lot and I have okay decent grades, I don't know, I just feel like I I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Um, I've been constantly changing my mind recently. I maybe wanted to do another bachelor. I thought about maybe just doing a master's. I thought about the current plan is trying to do something and work with my father. Like he's a moderately successful business person, and he's a bit like me. He's really maybe this would like reveal stuff about me, but he's really, you have to be really how can you say this, like you have to be really, you know what you should be doing. That's a bad way to put it. You have to be really philosophically aware of what you're doing and why you're doing this and why it's good and what the principles are. The principles are for something to be good and blah blah blah, right? And like he's been struggling. He's also like his moderate success. Why is he not like completely successful? Because to a certain degree, if you want to be really successful in the system, you have to be unethical. Maybe there's like a exception that I don't know of. I don't know, maybe. But I realized also people, this is like unfair. The system is unfair, and it rewards people who are really individualistic and really want to get ahead. If you're like that, man, hey, props to you. You're doing the correct thing. I'm envious of you. How can you not care? or maybe you care about something else more, and that's pushing you towards that direction. But I don't know, I'm at a loss. So I don't know, I had the urge to record something and upload it. This is my first time doing this unscripted. I think my previous video was something I did for uni. I didn't really care about it, and I did minimal research. I enjoy these kind of videos. It's the first time I'm doing it, and I really enjoy having to be having to communicate effectively and being articulate with what I say. It's pretty enjoyable, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. But this was the first video. I like the title of this YouTube channel, it's Propaganda, although it's not associated with weed anymore. It was like something I thought of when I used to smoke. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And you'll see me soon. You'll see me soon. I have a lot of thoughts. I like to sit by myself now more, and I don't know, I have just a lot of things to say. And that's it. Have a nice life.